The Philippines, home to 100 million people in Asia, of which 20 million are aged 15 to 24 years old. A minefield of ministry opportunities. This is where SMO, or Student Missionary Outreach, have been placed by God to do evangelism. Started in 1977, SMO has been reaching the Filipino youth with the gospel in school campuses all over the country, particularly the public schools, where the door is wide open for evangelism. Although the Philippines is considered to be a very religious nation, with 80% of the population being Roman Catholics and rich in religious festivities, there is a great need for the gospel to be heard. SMO responds to the challenge of Jesus Christ in fulfilling the Great Commission in this part of the world. Romans 10:14-15 is SMO's theme verse, and it says, "How then will they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in him of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news." SMO is a Christian student organization whose aim is to carry out a complete program of evangelism and discipleship to the unreached. We are a student fellowship which unites mature Christians with new believers, training them to become effective witnesses in their own schools. SMO is a church missionary arm. We work in partnership with local churches in its evangelism efforts and leading these students to churches where they become active church members. Finally, we are a church outreach who helps churches in equipping the youths in their faith. SMO carries these tasks through the acronym WITNESS. W stands for witnessing. We share the gospel in school campuses through one-on-one evangelism, small group gatherings, or in a classroom setting. Also, a year-end youth camp, which we call Camp Forever, is designed specifically for non-Christians. I for instructing. We do regular follow-up Bible studies with the Evangelize using our homegrown discipleship materials and other biblical materials from other reputable Christian groups. T for training. Summer breaks and semester breaks are time for SMO to give intensive 3 to 5 days training to new believers and maturing believers. Here we spend time teaching them sound doctrine and training them on how to share the gospel and do discipleship to their schoolmates. For youths who desire to undergo training in a Bible school setting, we have the SMO Bible Training Institute, or SMO BTI, where students get formal scholarly and practical training in youth ministry. The Institute has 2 programs. One is a Youth Worker Certificate, which runs for 3 years and includes 1 year of practical work in a particular mission field. And the second is Bachelor in Theology in Youth and Church Ministry, which runs for 4 years. At present, we have a total of 20 students in different year levels. N stands for nurturing. Weekly fellowships, bi-monthly retreats, and prayer fellowships are held to nurture relationships among fellow young believers. E is for edifying. We encourage the youth to discover their spiritual gifts and to use them to build each other up in the faith and bless others in return. S is for strengthening. The best way to grow in the Lord is for the youths to be part of a local church. Being an active partner with other churches, we channel the new believers to a local church where they could strengthen their relationship with the Lord and other believers of different age groups. And the other S stands for sending. Following a proper training, the new believer is encouraged to be student missionary in his own school first and second to other schools where the gospel is also needed to be heard. For students who have finished their studies at SMO Bible Training Institute, we help mobilize them in other mission fields where they could serve the Lord best. This 2015, SMO will start its operation at the new SMO National Training Center. where the SMO National Office and Bible Institute will be relocated. The training center is located in a donated 3-hectare agricultural land in Murcia, Negros Occidental in central Philippines. Development work in the SMO National Training Center is in progress. 2 structures made of native materials are almost finished, which will serve as student dormitories on the 2nd floor and tentatively as offices, library, classrooms, dining area, and kitchen on the ground floor. Future structures will include the main session hall, staff and guest rooms, classrooms, office and library, and dining and kitchen areas as funds come in. The training center will also serve other churches and Christian organizations who wants to use the facilities for their own trainings, seminars, retreats, and camps. We are also developing the land to grow organic vegetation and fruit trees, as well as to breed farm animals to serve as a means to raise funds for the operational expenses of the ministry. Financial support for the ongoing ministries of student missionary outreach in the Philippines, particularly support for the missionaries, staff, Bible students, and the operational expenses, and funds needed for the construction projects at the training center come mainly from churches, organizations, and individuals who see the need for a biblical youth ministry in the Philippines. We trust in God to provide for the needs of His work, even as we encourage His people to be God's instrument in meeting these needs. Pray for us as we continue to do the Lord's work in the Philippines.